Okay, so I'm lying under the helm of my boat. This is a Telflex steering system. It's got a flat spot up here. When you turn the wheel, you got no man's land. So we're going to replace the whole unit. The reason why we're going to replace the whole unit is no point in replacing a cable with a worm on it like that, but not replacing the worm gear in here inside the steering wheel helm unit. So this here is a split pin, or an R-clip I should say. This is pretty corroded, but we hit it with some anti-corrosive penetrant earlier on. I really hope it's going to do the trick. You pull the R-clip out, and this little hole here, you press on until it clicks. And when that clicks, you can unwind your steering. So I'll see how I go. Well, while I was turning the wheel, I've taken this instead of the R-clip and just give it an extra push, and it clicked. And now I can feed out, I'll show you, as you can see on the bottom. So this is releasing the cable from the helm. Sure, I'm going to get a face full of grease any minute. Alright, so we're free. So we're free from here now, so I've got to go down the end and try and get it out of the boat. Which is all very possible and easy. Here we go. Don't snag any wires. I'm having to pull it up this way, and the cable is over there now, just laying on all my wiring, making me extremely nervous. Oh, shooting into the sun. Anyhow, I'll just dubiously go and see. I'll make sure it doesn't snag any wires, and we'll just see if I can keep pulling gently. It does seem to want to come without a snag. Look at that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, time to take off the helm. So quick release wheel, nice and cool, easy. I think the next step is to use my number 2 screwdriver, take the boss kit off. This needs a good coat of paint anyway, because it's well and truly seen bad days. If I can get the boss kit off, get the nut off behind it. Right, so easy peasy lemon squeezy, or one would think. So this boat has had a few, if you can see all the holes, there's been quite a few helms in its years since 1984. I won't hold that against MADMAC'S. It's been a brilliant boat. I'll hopefully get many more years out of them. So hopefully this dude is gonna hit the underside of the dash here. There we go. I should be able to wind it straight out. Provides a resistance. There it is. I may have to, crack those. I'll just have a quick look. Okay. There we go. Let's not break any wiring. There we go, there's the helm unit. All to get that out. Helps to have a spanner on the back. Right. Washer. That's my earth. Right, check this out. Here we go. Brand new steering cable install. Basically, before you even try and fit this shaft here through the hole, you need to lubricate it. If you use grease, like engine grease or wheel bearing grease or even marine grease, it can get hard and chunky and make it quite difficult to get it back out during maintenance. So what I've learned to do is apply either a light film of oil or some kind of lithium grease. I have the oil on me, so I'm just going to put a bit of oil along the shaft here, and we'll start by sliding it in. Here we go. So I'll put quite a bit in there, on there. Yeah, the main thing is to not grease it. Slather it in grease and all the rest of it. You're generally going to run into trouble later on down the track if you have to do any kind of maintenance. So I'll just give that a bit of a slippery sloob. Whack a bit in here. Now the angle is another thing. I got the angle between here and the transom is real difficult to get this slid in. I ended up getting the old one out, but the distance from here to here and then to the transom part here, I've heard that other guys have had to actually lift the outboard up to get it in. I certainly hope that that's not the case here for me today, because it's the same size as the last one, so it should go in with a small amount of persuasion. So here we go. Yep, we're in. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. That's what we want. So we're going to wind this brass nut on here. Going to get it nice and tight. Pretty cool. Right, so because of the way this goes down here into through the transom, I've got to very carefully feed this through and then go in as well and make sure it's guided, and then I should just be able to pull it up and pull it through. Things are going to get a bit rocky for a minute. I've got to reach down here through all the cables and grab the steering cable. Here we go, and start pulling it through nice and straight from here. So you want to coil up, do it bit by bit, coil up a bunch at a time as far as you can get it. So actually, if you can see here, here's the cord. You want to feed it up under here where the least point of resistance is. You don't want it to be chafing, you don't want it to be rubbing against any electrical wiring, and you want to try and feed it over the top and along in a nice straight, clear, clean line so we can carry on. There we go. So we over there, we are free and clear of the wires, we can see that. So we'll just run it through for now. So now we'll head back up and see how much slack we've got. Just carefully straightening it out. Be reasonably forceful. And there we have it. Here we have in my box, I have a brand new helm to go in. Brand spanking new. So both sets, both the cable and the helm have been replaced in this. That's what we're going to be doing. So first things first, I'm going to try and line this up and find some holes. And look at that, straight away found me some holes. So got a new one of these, even though there's nothing wrong with the old one. We have one of these which takes the cable underneath, which we'll have a look at when we're starting to feed the cable through. And we have our own nuts and bolts, our own bag of stainless hardware, which is pretty cool. I'll stick them in the garment dish. Right, so steering wheel nut, steering wheel washer, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, these guys here go through the helm. So there should be a bolt there. I'll fit these guys in, because that's kind of what they want to do. Right, I believe I'm going to have to get me my drill. So I've got two different sizes, just roughly. Let's have a look and see which size is the best. It's a bit small, and that's nigh on perfect. Right, so what I'll do is I will put one through here, like so. And then I'll put the larger drill bit in my drill. And I'll just hone these holes out. I'm going to switch to 1, first gear. Don't really want to mess with it. Push this in. Just ream the hole out enough to get the bolt through, like so. And again with the top. Very nice. Pop that down there. Put the bolt through. Great. Now, I believe we will put a flat washer, lock, on the back. Right. Apply onze nut to onze bolt until they are in cahoots with one another. There you have it. I believe it. I believe it in my heart. I believe I have it in my heart, sir. Yes, sir, I do. Okay. So now we bring this guy over here. Stick them on there for now. This is just my additional earth, so I can earth out my steering wheel before any. Just an extra earth wire in case it's required. Right, I believe it would be a 13. Yeah, so you'd be a 13, and then you'd be a 14, I should imagine. That's kind of the way things go. Pop you in. Yeah, need to put the socket on, mate. That'll, otherwise you'll slow things down a bit. Is it going the right way? Appears to be. Alright, she's jumped off the socket there. That's okay. Back on this guy. Again, jumped off. we can fix that by extending the socket so it fits more. Nice and tight. There. I'm just going to set the socket on, and it just gives you that extra 5mm that you need with bolts sticking out. It'll still stay locked into the ratchet, and it should snug up. Just like that. Beautiful, boys. Don't tip it up. Yep. Put the drill down there. Tip it up. And again with the top one, same thing. Just sit the socket on the ratchet. Find the socket, which I believe I have. Socket's pushed back, so I'll just pop it off now and set it there. I'll just swing it round. Get it to fit nicely. Here we go. I would call that torqued. I guess we're going to find out soon when we go and check it all out. So now, if I poke this through and under, not snagging anything, feed it up through. Going to feed it in and wind her on until it takes. So, beautiful. And we'll do the next one. Okay, we've got that extra bit down because it's a shorter socket. So when you snug them, I usually put my knuckle right up close to the ratchet to start with and just go in diagonal, just snug like so, and so it pulls it on even. Right, so now once we're at the same snugness, I'll just give it a wee torque, like so. I don't have a torque spec for this, I'm just torquing by hand. Nothing too crazy, you'll snap the bolt off and have it stuck in your helm. Done. As far as these go, they're both identical, so I guess I just used a new one. The new 3D printed one. Yep. So, I'll slip the solder on the helm. Nice and tight. I'll screw this face on here. Nicely done. Why you stop going in? Why you not going out? Your problem, Uber team. Why can't you get out like every other bolt nuts bolt get out when you're told to? Don't make me crack up the nunchucks. Don't make me start kung fu fighting. I'm back to a kiwi now. Alright, here's what we're up to. I'm just reaching here and get the boss kit. This is a boss kit that'll fit any kind of Momo. It's a multi-fit type setup. So, take your Woodruff key, slot the key in here like that. There's a groove on it. And then you slide this on there like that. There you go. Now we've got a nice steery with a key lock. I'm going to put the bracket on. So I'm going to fit the new nylock nut now to cover the sizes. So bearing in mind this is a nylock, you don't have to go crazy on it, just hold it. And always check when that plastic is threaded in around on top when you're putting a nylock nut on. When the plastic is threaded in over the thread, you know that it's locked. So you don't have to go crazy or worry about vice gripping it down or anything silly like that. There you go. So that's not going to come off. What we did, because if you don't know me and my channel by now, I like all things automotive. So we put a knockoff, just a cheap knockoff, but not a cheap knockoff, but a knockoff wheel. So to make that knockoff wheel work, we had to put the knockoff wheel hub on. This has come off, it's been cleaned up and painted because it started to rust up around the edges. And then again I used a bit of my nylon cutting board and just milled that out so it's a spacer for this. So then this here will fit inside the boss kit, like so. So I'll put a screw in there, a screw in there. Just wind these guys into somewhere close. Alright, so the reason I'm only putting like 3 in is because I have to hook up the steering with the steering wheel, and then once the steering is all hooked up, I'm going to possibly have to pull this wheel off again and move it around a few notches. There, when you pull back on the spring, it should fit. There we go. So we're on, we're locked. So I can put that to there now. And there's a new helm unit in. So now we're going to switch positions and we're going to feed through. Alrighty, so now we're under here and pushing back. There we go. A bit. Yes, a bit. I'm going to take up some slack. And we're going to feed a ewer in like this so. Right, so we'll just start turning the wheel. There we go. And she's just going to go in. And as it goes, we'll feed her up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. There we go. Give it a bit more. Doesn't appear to have an end on it. Hey, it's interesting. So he's going in and he's locked. Right, so you push and it locks, and I must have had the bolts. Did you see that? Yeah, it went right in past that taper. Okay, we're going to do this to the beat of Connor. That's fine. Fine by me. So here we go. This is a nylock nut. Any issues with your nylock, replace it. And of course, if you're doing this over the water, don't be stupid. You'll end up going for a swim. just like that, but luckily it landed in the well deck. Now I don't know where my stainless steel screws have gone, so just bear with me. I've straightened the steering wheel. All I did was centre the outboard at the back there and then trimmed it down so the skeg was in the ground, and jumped up here and pulled the quick release wheel off, and then basically I was 180 degrees out, so I just had to take the wheel off and take off this little wee adapter here and flip it round, which I did. So I flipped it 180 and now I'm just tightening it up gently. Okay, so we're taut. My little bracket, my little spacer is taut all the way around. It all looks good. So just quickly make sure that everything's tight. We'll flip the wheel on. Pretty confident that that's good. There we go, we're on. So we're dead straight there. Trim it up. Beautiful. No problem at all with the revolution. Hard to starboard, hard to port. Boom, not a problem. Alrighty then. In conclusion, I found my washers. One on the top, one on the bottom, and again, as you can see, the nylock is poking through, the thread, sorry, is poking through the nylock, which pretty much means that the steering is all locked, tight and safe. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.